Ooh, that was so loud.
My youth is yours, tripping on skies, sipping waterfalls. My youth is yours, run away now and forever. My youth is yours, a truth to life.
Welcome to the series that I'm doing this summer on this channel, where I read an entry from my journal the summer I graduated from high school going into college, 18 going on 19, and take you on this journey of summer 2014 with me. I think it's a great way to share some of my writing to allow you to get to know me better and kind of where I come from with my past, who I was, who I am, and just to really capture this iconic summer. You know, that summer when you graduate high school and you've got the entire world before you. You've got these wonderful friends. It's a great time to be alive, and it just makes me think of like movies such as Perks of Being a Wallflower, The To-Do List, and it makes me think of my time. And like, I have YouTube friends, shout out to you, Kiara, who have graduated high school and are going on to college, and like, this is who I was at your age, and I want to share it with you. If you haven't seen the first entry, go watch it. It's really, really serious, and there are a lot of issues in there that I address that I think are really important before I continue on to the second entry in here, which happens to be May 28th, 2014. That is 3 days later, and because these are long, let's just get right on into it. There are days like today where it was all so wonderful, I forget it happened in the same past 24 hours, where I don't realize how insanely wonderful it truly was until I sit in bed, breathe, and try to remember what even happened or why I feel so good, so whole, like today. Funny, because in each present moment I tried so hard to appreciate it, but not enjoy it, for I was well aware how extremely temporary this all is right now. The last thing I need to do is get more attached. I miss it already, solely because I know how soon it will no longer be present in my life, and that scares me. I'm trying to define what I am, intro or extrovert. As much as I spend time alone and have a hard time returning to society, I love, love, love people and socializing. I just don't know which one actually comes naturally. I get too nervous and anxious when socializing, especially before an event, but I go crazy when I'm by myself. You see, I do this thing where I put all my emotions in the hands of others. In a way, I become too dependent, unable to let myself feel, if not controlled by interactions with others. In that sense, extrovert, for they depict and control my emotions and ultimately my mindset for the day. I have recognized this as a problem because when no one is around to be with me, I crumble, become broken plaster. It's terrible. It makes me wish I had more power over my emotions. But today I realized it's not all bad. In fact, I love it, because today I felt so happy and here. All because from the moment I woke up to curling up in bed tonight, there was someone. I was doing something, or I was in contact with another human being, who ultimately made me feel loved, cared for, noticed, better. Why is it my best days are those spent surrounded by people? Is it possible to feel this great after a day spent alone, solely taking care of myself? Or is it all a flaw in our brain chemistry, the animal inside of us, evolution's reminder that we are meant to stay as a herd? I am glad that after today I feel this way, but I'm very upset with myself that I couldn't control it. I didn't have the power to make myself feel this way on my own. I needed a compilation of great individuals to constantly entertain and distract my slightly fucked up brain, a slight buzz still strong from the weekend. Beginning at the earliest I've been up the past 2 weeks, I picked up Lydia at 7:30 for a morning assassin attempt. Long story short, Lasharo does not drive his car to May program, and he does not leave the house between 8 to 9 a.m. I love my team though, and every moment like the time spent hiding in his yard today. Watching Patty pose for a kill makes me laugh. And as soon as I dropped Lydia off at home and I returned to actually get ready, Dawn was there, sitting on the new leather couch in my living room. I was surprised to see her, only to realize that I didn't miss her. I had to leave immediately anyway because I had a lunch date with Hannah on such a beautiful warm summer day too. How disturbing to be on summer vacation in a week. Hannah told me a love story meant for a movie or really predictable Nicholas Sparks novel, but she waited all week to tell me. I feel special, but also concerned. I sat at lunch so nauseated, unable to finish or even eat a single bite. I would surely have thrown up. When Hannah had to return to her internship, I went up for my math session, an hour I learned to really appreciate and value. Math isn't as terrible when it's one-on-one. From math, it went small chat with Parsa to the security guard, to Carter and Hannah again. What I'm saying is I communicate with so many people a day, so many sincere conversations, and today I embraced many, kept smiling because I put all my emotions in their hands, and that turned out okay today. I remember sitting in my college counselor's office this afternoon when he was at baseball. Hannah and I occupied our go-to seats while eating his go-to M&Ms. It was all comforting, a place I felt safe, and I tried to push the sadness away, but part of me wonders if it was the last time being us in his office. We were the kids that sat in there all the time. It was our place. And years from now, Miss and Mr. will remember us. Emily, Jillian, Hannah, and Makayla remember our giggles and chocolate craves, sarcastic remarks, and selfies sent from his office. No one can fill our shoes or take our place. This was our legend. A memory, no doubt. I soon found myself exhausted. A long day spent socializing and sitting outside in the sun. A small tan covers my skin. So I took a nap. Listening to Lana sing, I closed my eyes and let myself go. I fell asleep for a bit, really, and when I did open my eyes, what I saw was better than any dream ever imaginable. Part of me wished I chose not to wake up, but the way it all turned out isn't half bad either. Miss was going to leave me a note, a tangible piece I could hold forever, but I opened my eyes before she had the chance. I guess it worked out for the better, though. This way, we talked, too, and before I knew what was going on, she returned with pita chips and a protein shake from the vending machine, plus 2 Nutri-Grain bars from her office. I suddenly had a dinner, and a feeling of something warm and contagious like a laugh grew inside of me. For although I talked to her just yesterday, she made the choice to stop and leave a note, a gesture, letting me know something. Maybe my fear of missing her isn't just a one-way deal. Maybe she's clinging now as well for the sake of all things temporary. Temporary. I sat outside this afternoon and couldn't help but see so many beautiful things, all temporary, all changing. All I seem to think about is change. College, the mini endings. There were first graders reading on the sidewalk, red jumpers blazing in the heat, 6th graders flying kites they made in the warm wind out on the activity field, and I watched the 5th graders' iconic egg drop. How weird to think of my egg drop as a 5th grader. And here I am, no longer a 5th grader, but a senior, about to graduate. Temporary, I tell you. It all moves too fast. And I know I will never get another moment or time as I did today. Never will another time come where I find myself sitting outside in the comfort of the setting sun, eating the food provided by Miss and spot, as I went up for air from writing, to spot a tiny pale figure out of the building, remembering how I did not recognize her when she walked in earlier, how it was the shoes, the huge combat boots, so juxtaposed to her frame and personality, that gave me a name. Still too far away to do anything, I texted her, asking the same way she once did, if I saw her or simply her hot twin. And just like that, Layla soon joined me outside. It was so nice to see her in person, to notice the ghastly appearance of her skin, the bitten nails, dried blood between her cuticles. It's one of the very few times I'd call anything a perfect imperfection, for she was so beautiful for being human, for not fitting any mold. We talked until the sun faded and the bugs began to bite. Goosebumps covered our skin, once so shiny and sticky with sweat. The night was over and we had to go. How we've both grown. An amazement to drive away and see Layla doing the same in her new hand-me-down car. Sometimes my life goes so fast and I can barely baffle at the utter thought of it, because all these conversations, all the times others made me smile or laugh or feel, and it all became a blur. So very temporary, that all the details I will soon forget, but I will always remember how they made me feel. And on days like today, I felt a lot. Days like today, I must remind myself, are possible to have and to enjoy on days where I feel nothing and everything, like last Saturday. I just hate how my happiest and best days only seem to happen after a relapse, leaving me from feeling so terrible and disgusted to completely shocked, because how is it possible that the world can feel so warm? How is it possible that I wish to succeed but also die at the same time? I think I need to stop thinking. I remember that day still, so clearly. And I think it's because I wrote about it. I think I'm just going to mention that the reason my teacher was bringing me food for dinner is because I spent literally my entire life at my school. I have always been that way. For my class superlatives, I was like the most likely to be at school, or like most time spent at school or something like that. Real pathetic, I know, but it was my escape. It was literally my family. I lived there basically All I did was drive home late at night to sleep and then leave early in the morning to return. Ate all 3 meals there, spent all my time there. So that's kind of why she was bringing me food so late at night when she was leaving. And Layla, I love you. And I'm glad that you watch my videos and that we're still friends. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure that you are caught up by watching the previous entry, the first entry, this is the second. And I will see you with the third entry very, very soon.